Why do you need a concrete plan for career growth? Hi, everyone. I'm Limor. And for those who don't know me, I used to be a software engineer, and later on in my career, I grew into leadership. I was an engineering manager and a director of engineering. And over the past 5 years, I've been focusing on my passion, which is supporting women in tech and helping women grow and succeed. And today, I really wanted to talk about having a plan for your career growth. The reason I think it's very important is because I didn't always have one. And looking backwards, I realized how important it was. I remember times in my career that I felt stuck, that I felt that I'm in the wrong place. And I'll give you one example is that a story I share quite a lot is when I was promoted to a staff engineer. And I felt that that was not the path that was right for me because I didn't see myself going into senior staff and staying in the IC route rather than wanting to become a manager. But I only realized that once I was promoted. And unfortunately, I didn't have a plan. And also, no one knew that I wanted to be a manager. And, I saw my colleagues around me getting promoted and getting feeling, well, maybe I'm not cut up for management, not good enough. But you know, the challenge was that I really didn't have a plan and I didn't socialize it with anyone. So no one knew what I wanted. So not limbo. And for years, it took me, I think, 4 years before I finally stepped into leadership from that point. And, without a clear direction, I was letting my career happen to me instead of taking the driver's seat. And back then, I was a young mom, first child, and I felt trapped. I traveled constantly. I missed a lot of important milestones at home. And I worked in a role that didn't align with my ambition. Obviously, it led to a lot of frustrations. And I felt that I'm stuck and I'm not in the right path for me. And I didn't know how to communicate my goals and how to take proactive steps to achieve them. So, the truth that I've learned the hard way is that no one is coming to hand you your dream role on a silver platter. You really need to define your own goals, understand the environment you're working in, and advocate for yourself. I think that a concrete plan for your career growth is not just a nice to have. It's really a foundation for moving forward with confidence and clarity. And when I coach women, a lot of times I hear they're saying they're not sure where to start. And they say things like, what if my manager doesn't see my potential? And believe me, I get that. I've been there too. But this is what I guide my clients through. It's very simple yet powerful. First of all, we work on really defining what are the goals. So you have to really stop and ask yourself, what do you want? And it sounds simple, right? But a lot of times we don't do that. We just try to satisfy what our manager asks us to do, or maybe what the environment expect us to do, instead of asking ourselves, like, what do I want? What are my goals? And this is super important to really understand that. I'll tell you another thing also, when you're super busy in the daily grind, sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult to realize what you want. And one recommendation I can give you is really to give yourself space. And what I mean by that is trying to step away maybe for a day outside, a getaway, a weekend, or even just like go outside for a walk or something. because you need the mental space in order to think of something that is not like the day-to-day tasks that are probably, overflowing, right? Because we all juggle through work and life and we have so much to do. And it's really difficult to step out of that and try to think of what do you really want. So that's the first thing. What do you want and what are your goals? Then what I do with my clients, we map the environment, meaning their manager, their peers, their stakeholders. We identify what opportunities they have, obviously opportunities that align with their ambitions, with what they want, but also, and not less importantly, with what the business need. Because eventually we all are doing our work in order to achieve something in for the company. So we have to take into account not just what we want, but how does that contribute to the business goals. And then it's about really taking charge of your narrative and building relationships that support your vision and building a plan. And there's one thing I want you to remember is that you have the power to shape your career. Even if you feel powerless, I'm telling you, you have the power. And it has to start by you giving yourself permission to take the first step and not to wait for someone else to notice your potential. It means you need to advocate for yourself and not being afraid to take risks. Like, for example, when I was 8 months pregnant with my second child, I almost didn't apply to a management role because I thought, who would hire someone that is about to go on maternity leave? But luckily, I had support from my husband and a former manager, and I pushed myself and I put through that doubt. And eventually, I got that job. Why? Because I showed up with a plan and clarity and confidence. And when I was promoted to a director role, it wasn't easy. I had to define myself that I want to become a director. I had to work with HR business partner and with my manager and with a coach to figure out what are the gaps and what do I need to do. I had to think outside of the box and think about how can I prove that I am capable of being a director and what are the things that I can do. So I really had to take control and responsibility for my career and not wait for someone to hand that over to me. So I want to end this short episode with a challenge for you. I want to ask you, what's your next career step? The step that you would want? And what is currently holding you back? And this is sometimes a hard question to ask ourselves because a lot of times it's painful. Because it's painful to admit that maybe I'm afraid. Maybe I'm afraid to fail. Maybe I'm afraid that I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm afraid that no one will see me that way. But you really have to ask yourself those hard questions or hire someone like me to help you. And if you're ready to take control of your growth, start by writing down one goal today and then map out the steps to get there. And it could be a small goal, it doesn't have to be very big. It could be something like, well, I want to build relationship with this person. And that's what I'm going to do in order to start building a relationship. Or I want to enhance my presentation skills. So I'm going to find an opportunity within the company to present a milestone I'm working on. Whatever that may be. A goal can be something small or it can be something bigger, like I want to become a director within 6 months and start laying out what are the steps in order to get there. And if you're not sure where to begin, connect with me. I'm here to help, and I would love to help you create your plan and start driving your career forward. So I want to encourage you to start your career plan today. We're beginning of a new year of 2025. So that's a perfect time to build your plan for 2025 and create your goals and achieve them. So I want to thank you so much for listening for me today, and let me know what you would love to hear from me next. I always seek your feedback. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to the podcast, and also to my newsletter where I share weekly tips. Thank you so much, and I want to wish you a wonderful 2025, that you will achieve your goals and succeed and grow in the way that you want to grow this year. Thank you so much, and see you soon.